What's going on, American truckers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper. And of course, I'm your boy, Old Snapper. I'm over here at Nestle Water in Greenwood, Indiana. They got one guy working. He's loading trucks. He's checking people in. He's signing people out. Got a feeling I'm going to be here a while. You know how that goes. I got two stories for you today. The second one is a little embarrassing, so I'm going to save it for last. It's a little embarrassing on your boy here, but I'm going to save it for the second part of this. I'm going to tell one that didn't happen to me. It happened to a guy I trained. That'll be the first story. And then I'll save my embarrassing one for second, of course. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We do everything trucking related here. It's just a trucking channel. Oh, don't let me forget, you know, Trucking with Old Snapper is sponsored by you, the viewer, not sponsored by a company. Nobody has a muzzle on me. I say what I want, when I want, how I want, and I'm here to tell you the truth as much as I can, you know, from my own perspective. Not here to hurt any drivers. I wouldn't want to lead y'all in the wrong way. I've been led in the wrong way, and I'm not going to do that to you. So hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate the support, and we'll go ahead and get this started. Yeah, smoking is bad for your health. They could use me on a quit smoking commercial. But anyway, get into this first incident here. Since these tornadoes just happened, I figured this would be a good story to tell at this time. This happened to a guy I trained him in 2012. He was solo and had been solo for, oh God, 7 or 8 years when this happened. Kevin Chapman, if you're watching, man, shout out to you. Good people. He's living down in Aransas Pass, Texas. He's retired now. He's enjoying retirement. We talk every now and then. He's pretty good people. Every once in a while we'll piss each other off and we don't talk for a few months, but you know how that goes, man. I think the last time he pissed me off, he told me George Bush was from Texas, and it just infuriated me. I didn't talk to him for 4 months. And if you're watching this right now thinking George Bush is from Texas, no, he is not. He's from Connecticut. He also went to school in the Northeast. Their family was down in Texas chasing oil. He is not from Texas. You know, fool me once, no, fool me twice, never fool, whatever the heck that man was saying. He is not from Texas, folks. I promise, he's not. Never was, never will be. He can act the act and do all that all he wants to. He's not from Texas. Yeah, I got a cough, man, just thinking, somebody thinking he's from Texas. Anyway, let's get into this story. Oh, Kevin, he was working here at Crete, and he had picked up a load of beer down in Colorado. Don't remember where he was headed, but he was headed up. He was going to catch 80 up in Nebraska. And not long before he made the 80 junction there, maybe within 10 miles or so, I think he said, a tornado had approached him from the south. And there was a UPS truck in front of him, a couple cars around him, and they were trying to make that next exit. Alright. Don't know which exit it was. He told me, but it's been a while. Anyway, the UPS truck ends up making the exit. He doesn't make the exit, so he pulls off to the side. There's a little bit of a hill there, a burr, and he's hoping that hill will block him. It's on his south side. The UPS truck, let me turn that off. Oh, Hirschback finally got backed in next to me. They've been backing in since before I started this thing. But anyway, UPS makes the exit. He doesn't quite make the exit. Alright, so he parks right next to that burr, hoping that since the tornado's approaching from the south side, that hill will save him. He jumps in the back. He's kind of panicking. He don't know what to do. Which, by the way, after this story, I'm going to kind of give you some ideas of what I would do. I don't really know what the protocol is, to be 100% honest with you. I guess it's going to kind of depend on the situation and where you're at. But he opens up one of these cabinets, like what's right here beside me. The one down on the bottom, below the closet. He was in a Freightliner just like I'm in. And he stuck his head in it, because all he could think was protect his head. Alright. So he's down on all fours with his head inside the cabinet. The tornado comes over, smashes out the windows on both sides. They were completely gone. Glass flying through their truck. He ends up getting cut up a little bit. Smashes the whole right-hand side of his truck. Thankfully, he was loaded with beer, which is a heavy product. He said he could feel the truck like it kept wanting to lift up, like it was moving. He was so nervous when he stopped, he couldn't tell that if the truck had really moved or not moved. He said it seemed like forever. It seemed like it went on for minutes. He sits down in the floor, probably about where I'm at right now, only not on the bed, in the floor. So there was about a 1/4 inch of water all the way through his truck. Front windshield smashed, both side windshields are gone. He said this tornado is still going over. But he was at a point where he thought he was going to die. And at this time, he's retired now, so Kevin would have been in his late 50s when this happened. And he said, I thought I was going to die. And he said, I just sat down on the floor and kind of gave up. I thought that was it. He went through a little period after that where he didn't know if he wanted to truck anymore. You know, he didn't want to die out here on the road. So, but he ends up trucking a few more years before he ended up leaving Crete and retiring, going on to do his thing. But anyway, the UPS truck ended up rolled over. Don't know if that driver survived or what. And some of the cars got thrown. Not sure what happened to them either. Now that I've told you that story, I'm going to tell you what I would do. Alright. If there's not a structure around me, I don't care if I own the structure or not. Even if I'm in the middle of nowhere. If there's a concrete building in a field and I think I can get to it, that's where I'm going. But let's say I'm in my truck. In that situation, there's nowhere to go. I probably would have stopped just like he did, with a hill beside me. And I probably would have got on the floor back here, took this mattress and tried to pull it up over me, cover as much of my body as possible. He ended up with some scrapes and cuts, but he was alright. Nothing that needed stitches. My theory on that is, one, the bed's going to protect me from any glass or flying debris, hopefully. My other theory on that is, say it does roll my truck over, I got the mattress, so I've got some spring into whatever it throws me into, you know. Whether it throws me into this wall, that wall, whatever happens, I got a little bit of spring because I got this mattress. Of course, our mattresses here, they don't have springs in them, but I got some cushion, you know. That's what I would do. Low-lying areas are a good place to go. I've heard mixed reviews on whether to get under a overpass or not. I've heard some people say it's safe, some people say it's not. If any of you on here have an idea or have done it before, please hit that comment deal below and let me know. Well, we're almost 9 minutes into this. I guess I'll get into my embarrassing story. And we're coming up on New Year's, so I figured I'd tell this story. It was from my wild and woolly days when I wasn't quite, how do you say, elegant? There wasn't nothing elegant about me back then. Not quite elegant today, but I really wasn't elegant at this time. Anyway, it was 1999 going into 2000. Alright. Do y'all remember when they were talking about the world coming to an end because computers weren't programmed or something? I don't know. Something to do with the start over of the year, right? Well, your boy old Snapper here got drunk that night with his girlfriend. And I might have been smoking on left-handed cigarettes along with my right-handed cigarettes, probably with a bottle of whiskey between my legs. I remember a good portion of the night, but some bits and pieces are a little sketchy. Well, through my hometown, you got US 35 comes through my hometown down in Texas. Some of y'all may have driven it from time to time. We got to talking about the world coming to an end, and well, we were just drunk enough to believe it. So what do? I'm in the passenger seat. My old lady Stephanie, she's driving. We're riding up and down through town on the main drag. I got the window down and I'm hollering, we're all gonna die. It's all over with, we're all gonna die. Well, I guess at some point in there I didn't figure anybody was paying me enough attention and taking the situation as serious as it should have been. So I decided to bring a little more attention to myself and make the situation more noticeable, right? Alright. Well, I dropped my pants, I dropped my boxers, I got them at my ankles, I got the window down, I got my butt hanging out the window, I'm guzzling on a bottle of whiskey and screaming at the top of my lungs, we're all gonna die, it's all over with. Well, somebody in town, I guess I got enough attention. They called the local law enforcement, who, by the way, knew me pretty well. If you're watching, see, I told you I'd straighten my life up. But anyway, local law enforcement shows up out there to deal with me. I pulled my pants up, of course. I was not so drunk as to deal with them with my pants still down. My pants might have been up when they got there. I think I knew they were on the way or something. Somebody hollered. Anyway, they decided that I was going to be a danger to possibly myself and other people, and that I needed to spend the night in the Calhoun County Jail. So, well, you know, they rackle and shackle old Snapper up and throw me in the back seat of a car, haul me off to the county jail, and they throw me in the drunk tank. That don't last long. I get in a fight with a couple other old rednecks, and you know, and I'm still thinking the world's going to come to an end, and I'm trying to convince them that it is, and they didn't like hearing that, considering we were locked in a steel cage, and it may or may not have set off a little bit of a ruckus. I never was charged with that, so I'm not admitting to nothing. Well, they come in there, bring the turtles, they snatch old Snapper out of that cell, they throw me in a cell by myself. Now I'm even more worried, because if the world's going to end, I don't want to be by myself locked in a cell. Back in them days, they were all turnkey, you know, they weren't electronic. But I knew everybody would leave, and nobody's going to come get me out. You know, I'm the town whore, you know, they're going to leave me in the box. So, every hour, on the hour, I knocked on the door, and I don't remember how I knew. I think I could see a clock. I was from down the hall. But I would knock on the door and have the guard come down, and I would ask him, is everything okay out there? Has the world ended yet? Them guards was ready for me to go. The next morning, that may have been why they didn't charge me with nothing. The next morning, I'm telling you, they come and snatched me out of there, gave me back my regular clothes, took their jailhouse clothes, told me, have a nice day, don't come back. Well, of course, the world didn't end. I spent the night in jail. My girl ended up running off with some dude. She was drunk, and who knows what happened, but he was smart enough not to go to jail. I wasn't, so hey, it is my thing. It is what it is, right? That's the embarrassing story. Old Snapper running down US Highway 35 with his kibbles and bits hanging out, bottle of whiskey, thinking that the world was going to come to an end. Here we are coming up on New Year's, 22 years later, you know, or 21, 22 years later, however you want to count it there. I'm a trucker, not a mathematician, and look at what's happening. We're still here, and still thinking that the world's going to end. But with the current administration in office like they are, it is very much a possibility. Between that and UFOs in Area 51, there is no telling what's about to happen in the current state of the economy. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this story. I hope the first story made you think a little bit. Drivers, you may want to think about having a plan as as to what you would do if something goes wrong. You know, in a case of a tornado. Y'all saw what happened the other night. I think that tornado was on the ground for 127 miles, which is a little bit unusual. I haven't heard yet if any drivers were involved. I pray not. I really don't like to see the loss of life anywhere. If you are from Kentucky, just know I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your state. And I do donate a lot of money to Samaritan's Purse, and they will be out there helping y'all in that state. And I will continue donating to them as they help y'all rebuild and bring y'all's communities back together. Well, you know how I always leave you, man. Remember, we're all family. Be kind to one another. Don't do what I did and go to jail riding down the road coming up in New Year's in a few weeks. Hanging your kibbles and bits out the window. I promise it doesn't end well. And if the world ends, the jail is the last place you want to be. Y'all stay safe, and let's keep trucking.